Game is starting up with Funky team name again making the decision to start things off on the defender side with the lineup. When it comes to the agents, we have our core set up once again. But the one that they are not picking is actually Breach. Instead, we have Omen and Sova for Team Orgless. That already said.
It's got a fair amount of time to it, I think, the pistol round, right? Like before things start.
Yeah, it's actually the biggest time, the biggest gap that you have at the beginning. Usually the setup time is 30 seconds, and this, I believe it's like 45 roughly. The first one.
Yeah.
All right, this round is up. Location already revealed. Dart is in too. Still holding it here. But you can actually tell that they invested into armor. So pretty much every single player on the side of Orgless is currently still running the standard pistol, but they invested the 400 credits that you need for the 25 armor. That helps you a little bit in those pistol shootouts that you have in the first round. But it's still interesting to see because you have teams that make different decisions when it comes to, say, the Ghost, for example, or even going into the Sheriff early on. Not so much here, just trying to have that armor ready for those big brawly fights that we are pretty much guaranteed to see.
Interesting choice here. They get aggressive in the short house, moving up, and then look to back away, and now moving back into where they were first found. Oh, nice though. The trap wire coming through though. That's going to give them an awful lot of information to work with here on the defensive side. Does it matter so much? It looks like it. Quick 2 kills coming in. Decius is able to escape, and they're not able to lock him down, but the spike has gone down here in the 4 versus 3.
Yeah, Decius getting the kill actually on the C side, where over here it was Cypher was making the play, so now we have 2 down already. Yeah, still the attack, nice juke on the other hand. Vainless comes in and takes Sova down. Speedy with the kill against Abless, and there's the 1 versus 1, and Speedy comes in with a big hit against Decius, and they win the round. Fantastic finish there, you gotta say. I mean, it was a 4 versus 3, and they played this incredibly well, just being a lot more accurate on the aiming, honestly.
Oh, this should do.
Yeah, with the 1-0
big
lead
moments. I don't know. I think it's a relatively good pistol coming through from them. Just getting super aggressive, right? Getting in the face of their opponents. A nice little individual play towards the end to pull it back is always nice as well. But a relatively... there's nothing too fancy about it, right? They just overwhelm the A site there, moving back and forth, trying to bait them out with the information and catch them off guard.
It's actually super interesting. Funky team name has now invested into still a couple of guns. Oftentimes on the second round, if you lose, you just play the standard guns. You don't invest a lot. You buy yourself mainly utility. We've seen one deviation away from it a bit earlier. You pointed that out in the last match we saw. But now they actually got still a couple of guns, whereas we have tons of Spectres coming through for the red team, for the attackers, for Team Orgless. They have a bit of extra credits here, and they are putting it to immediate use. Not going for any additional armor, but playing mainly around Spectres, and so far it has worked out. They got 2 kills against the 1 against them.
Cage triggered.
Cage already triggered for the spike plan. 300 extra credits confirmed already. Good kill. F2K takes Decius down. That was an important one. And only 2 defenders are standing for Funky team name.
They can get done here. Not an awful lot to work with in terms of the ordnance, in terms of the weaponry, and in terms of the manpower. So pretty much everything stacked against them, and there it is, never save with the wide peak. Gonna get the double. Going as you would expect there. A relatively clean anti-eco coming in from Orgless. Not an awful lot that Funky team name could do, really, but this is where it starts to get a bit more interesting, right? I talked about this a little bit in the previous game, but some of the buys that you're able to put together despite winning 2 rounds in a row end up actually being kind of weaker than the team that's lost 2 rounds in a row. So we're seeing a lot of SMGs here. We are seeing a few assault rifles on maybe those players who've been picking up some more kills, but I think ultimately the defensive side are going to have a bit of an easier time in terms of the weaponry. We'll see now with the push up long, the ordnance that's going to come through, whether they can deal with it.
I think it's most of the time not really a question of whether or not you can afford it. It's more so, do you really want to buy a Vandal if you already hold a Spectre? Or do you just like risk to play that round a bit less and save the money for the next upcoming one? Because they definitely got the money to spare if they want to pick something else up. Talk about picking things up. Fails is picking one kill after another, or needs F2K to stop him. Decius takes down Speedy, and that puts a 4 versus 2 on the board, you know, in terms of agents alive. So Funky Team name again with a numeric advantage, but they're all trying to funnel through spawn. Trying to zerk in, shooting through. Oh my god, F2K and so on with a double kill.
I don't know about the push through the smoke there. It's brought it back down now to a 1 versus 1. Vainless, of course, with the wide peak, able to get the clutch. Goodness me, though, that comes way closer, I think, than it should have been, to be honest, Khaldor. 4 versus 2, and then like a big 3K coming in from the Brimstone to just nearly, very nearly pull things back.
And that, of course, also, with all the kills that came now in, it gives quite a bit of money over to the attacking team. That's 800 just in kills that they just picked up here. So, of course, this is the time when both teams will have enough to get their weapons together, especially since now that most of the guys on the defender side have also fallen. Those Spectres are out of play, so it's time to replace them with Phantoms and with the Vandals, which is exactly what we have over here. And Cypher. Okay, seems like he wants to cover the rotation. They're making the way over to the left side. Camera is also in. Trying to look for the double doors here, as it seems. So far, Team Orgless had a pretty good stand. Was the last one, though. Alright, there's also a little bit of a peek happening. Slow approach this time. Trying to go through the double doors. Window, on the other hand, is being held. And the move towards B now, too.
I think definitely feeling it after the previous round, right? Not just rushing straight in. Playing it nice and slow, hoping to catch off an overzealous peak from the defensive side, but it's not looking too likely. They are playing very well, just resting on their heels right now, saving all this ordnance as some starts to come through onto the B bomb site. There goes the barrier orb, right, which is actually a really big piece of utility to bait out. Ultimately, it's not stopping an awful lot.
Yeah, gets the ice wall in, as he said. 30 seconds remaining, pretty much. C gets attacked. There's the ult. They're going for the window. Start to push in, but that's the problem. One down. Doesn't get the second kill, but this is definitely with a really nice move here. And went for the Bulldog, by the way, again. He really likes that weapon. Really down. 3 versus 3.
Side spike going to go down here. And yeah, once again, that Sage Wall, very tedious to deal with. They managed to get themselves into some decent post plants here. CO as well pushing up. I think they might just have heard the reload, though, if he's not careful. So a bit of information coming through in terms of where he's at, but they are really running low on time here. Got to start pushing forwards. Clean headshot coming in from Shine. Bring it back down to a much more doable situation. All going to be on Mika here with the Bulldog not able to get it done. Shine in with the 3K. And they immediately win that round back. Now continuing to extend their lead, not letting Funky Team Name get anything in here. And something worth noting, I think, for that entire round, right? You talked about the Bulldog pickup, and there was another one in there as well. I think despite winning the round that they did, they only won with one player surviving. So they didn't have an awful lot of economy built up and weapons saved and things. And I think CO as well was also on a Sheriff in that round. And it's like, it's not the best buy when you've just won a round to be on the weaker weapons. So definitely worth noting, right? They lost the 4v2 advantage.
Yeah, there was a difference, though, on players, because some of them, as you pointed out at the beginning of the round, they still had their Spectres ready from so they didn't buy anything coming into it. But yes, some of them definitely had not really a full buy available to them. Now that we are into the 5th one, though, ults are ready. 3 on each side. Both Omen ults. Sova for the attackers. And in addition to that, also Cypher. Breach is also ready here. Again, a little bit of a slower approach. Double guarding the doors towards the garage. And mainly the middle here. Last time they moved in, they didn't check the corner, and they paid for it dearly. B is completely abandoned though. Same is true for... well, actually for A, they're double covering. Okay. Nobody in. Time to ring the spike over. And they're holding a position. Wall is up on the right side towards A. That's a really nice position that they have here now. And also a very nice over towards the garage in front of the double door, so that's another good spot for them to hold. If they push out there, that could become a problem. Yep, there's the kill. F2K, not hesitating. Decius goes down. Bucky is in. That didn't do a lot for them. Never save the kill against fails. And that's a loss. Yeah, in this round they didn't really have a lot of... Seems like we had 2 players on a Bucky. At least.
Yeah. I think again they were going for the low buy, right? Not spending an awful lot into it. So that they can get the strongest buy possible here. Mika going to be out on this op. So looking pretty good. In this round, they also have 4 ultimates available, but then so do the attackers. So this one might end up being a bit of a messier round.
I think this is also going to be a highly important one now for the defending team, because if they lose this one as well, then they will definitely run short on resources. Yes, they get the losers bonus if they lose here and should end up with 2,900 credits per round from here on out, but they only have like 200 saved up each. That still doesn't allow you to go for a Vandal or Phantom plus the extra armor, so that would be put you in a spot where you either have to play Eco again, or you just accept that you won't be able to complete take yourself out. Decius starts it off with a good kill though. Eliminates Speedy here, so that was an important one, but he himself falls as Shines is doing very, very well here and should actually at this point already top the leaderboard for his team. Had a fantastic previous round too.
Fails, it's massive. They check him, but he still manages to find one. A second as well coming in. Great stuff from him. He's buying an awful lot of time. The spike eventually spotted, but he will fall as he does so. And Shine on the backside of things picks up the rotators, turning the tides of this round. And the Resurrect coming in as well to pretty much seal the deal. As at this point, Mika does not want to get involved. Using that op, a little difficult when you're trying to deal with multiple players at once. So going to have to back away and save. That's such a shame.
Yeah, Shine's doing extremely well here. I mean, it really looked like Freaks was able to win them the round, or at least puts him into a fantastic position, and then the rotation picked up. Shines gets those kills in, the Resurrect. And that's point number 5 for them. Winning round 6. Yeah, they're playing this really well now.
Yeah, they're looking really good. Funky team name just cannot catch a break. You know, they had a round there where an individual steps up and just immediately spat back in their face by the Sage, by Shine on that flank as well. So they're really... I think the thing is, again, the team coordination here of Orgless is really good. They can rely on certain players to push long, and then have a couple players in the double doors in the garage area, and they have trust in each other that those players in their particular positions are going to do their job successfully, and then it all just works out beautifully. Whereas I think Funky Team Name are not respecting the fact that they are splitting their attacks a little bit, but there you go. Fail's going to take down Shine with an early frag on that op, a great angle. I'm surprised he managed to hit it, to be honest.
And an important one to take out too, because that's Sage missing. Granted, she used the ult in the previous round, but still, no heal. Okay, trying to get the follow-up kill there. Didn't quite work out, but still getting some damage done. The attack towards A, Waller is revealed now. Here comes the ult as they're breaching in. Brimstone setting that up. Vision already granted. Thanks to Cypher. Use this ult as well. Want to win this, want to pick up the second one here. Spike is already on the way, gets placed, fails, trying to get another kill. He's looking for one and finds it. Never save goes down, but he took down Vainless just before. Speedy with the kill against Decius, and that only leaves Breach standing. 1 versus 3. I am impressed, seriously. Orgless, as on the attacking side, the way that they are playing this right now, this is really, really great. And you can see Funky team name absolutely struggle against this. We're talking a lot about the defender's advantage, but there is none of it to be seen just yet. And if Orgless performs in the same way on the defender side, then this is going to be an uphill battle from here on out for Funky team name. They really need to step it up if they want to bring this back.
Yeah, I think Orgless are just playing really, really well on the attacking side here, and see a bit of a replay of what Fails managed to pull off, some nice flicks and things with that saved op from the previous round. But ultimately, I think Orgless are playing very patiently is a key thing for them, right? They know exactly what they want to do, they set themselves up well, and then they all move in together. There's no one player getting really aggressive and giving away free kills or anything like that, at least in terms of the actual setup of the round. So I really, really like that from them, that there's a great deal of patience and a great deal of coordination from this team.
Yeah, they have a few ready to catch the rotations. Cypher once again with the camera over here now too. All right. Attempt to check to take that one down. 6 against 1 on the scoreboard. Yeah, Funky team name, they definitely need a few more points here. It's going to be so difficult for them if they if they go into the second half with such a big discrepancy in points. It's going to be really tricky for them to turn this around. Utility mostly has been bought back here. Again, average cost of full utility is 500 across the agents. Pushing into B slowly again. 5 versus 5 still. On A, there's no rotation there just yet either. C still being held on the side of Orgless, but they're moving through the middle again. And it's a double doors play that we've seen now a few times. Decius with a good position up at the top on the box. So if anybody starts to peek in and tries to check around the corner, he should have a really good angle to get a headshot in. And B abandoned now.
There it is.
Alright, there's the play. Well done.
Gonna get traded back though. I mean, that's relatively good that he gets traded back. Fails, meanwhile, finds one over towards C. Long will lose his teammate. The smoke goes down. Oh no. Oh, Sova has no idea at all. The bomb going to start moving in towards the C site now and kind of locking down a few positions here, there, and everywhere, but FQK can't really get it done. And Funky team name finally managed to get another round on the board. It took them an awful lot of time. They do really well there. We speak of, in CS, surviving with the bare minimum of 3 to get your economy going. I'm not quite sure what a good number would be in Valorant yet, but I think 3 is something to go off of. You're not buying up too many players when that happens, and you have an awful lot of money that you get to save. So really clean stuff that this time around they win around and they're not surviving with just one player. It really does set them up in good stead financially.
Yeah, much better position now. Of course, they have a bit of a problem here too, because with all the rounds that have been won by Orgless, they have no problem in this round to just go for a full buy again. So they have all the resources that they need in order to put them into a bit of an economic problem. Funky team would have to win at least one more round. Double checking that again. Long over here, trying to get the kill in. Shines, on the other hand, with a quick kill against Omen. Speedy takes Veinless down. 3 versus 5 situation. Spike has not been picked up just yet, so they are not bringing it in as we speak. Time, of course, is also going to be a problem eventually. Currently, we're looking at 55 seconds. And Misha gets a kill. CO gets 1 too, but Sword is able to take down Brimstone. 2 versus 2 as Cypher gets a kill against FTK. And Sword goes down as well. Omen is down to maybe 5 HP from what looks of it. Looks at 7, and the Cypher ult comes in too. Trapwire's activated. Vision is there. He can plant, but holding this spot is going to be nearly impossible. With 7
HP as well, yeah. It's not going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah, especially since Fails, I think it is, who still has 50 armor as well. I mean, you can even go for the good old spray and pray at this point.
Oh! It was close! It was close! It was definitely close.
Too close for comfort. He survives with 33 HP. Speedy, holy hell. What a monster. The round is won, but... oh, damn.
And again, we now have this question in a game where it is a lot closer between these two teams. It's like, at what cost, right? Gonna see here, I think they should just about be able to get the buyout, but they're not fully expanding their economy. And as you can see, Decius is in on that Bulldog again, which is not ideal, right? So they are kind of feeling the burn in some of these rounds where they're not really able to consistently keep players alive. However, I think at this point, they'll be happy to be stringing rounds together, right? And closing the gap.
Yeah, especially also because it means that the opponent side is really starting to bleed money as well. This is, I feel, the last round where without any problems, Orgless can go for a full buyout. So if you win another one here, they will eventually have to throw in league around, and that would then be more or less a guaranteed win if Funky Team Name plays it disciplined. Time will tell, though. There's a good kill. This is a perfect one. Shines goes down. You know, it doesn't get much better than that. He's the top player on the team, at least in this particular round. And we have also, of course, Sage eliminated, which means no resurrect, no heals, no utility. Hey, the dart is in. Baneless, the kill against Speedy. 5 versus 3. They're looking great here in this 10th round now.
Yeah, really pulling things back a little bit. I think they're getting used to the fact. Orgless. However, I'll hold the point, because we are going to see some aggressive plays here over towards C. Orbital strikes coming in. Nice area denial there on the defensive orbital strike. However, Mika going to get taken down. Spike going to get planted. Omen is very, very close here at the back end of the site. The rotations have come in really, really quickly as well. So many players just grouped up on the site itself. Go around a corner and you peek into 3 people. The trade comes through, but it's still a man advantage for the defensive side. Flash around the corner as well. Surely got to act on that. They do. And now it'll all be down to F2K over at Long. The bomb is planted for him, but he's got to find 3 players on the other side of the smoke as well. He's trying his best to line it up. Has he taken down the diffuser? No. No, he has not. So the defuse will come through. It's a little close once again, but Funky Team Name are stringing rounds together and closing this gap.
Despite the plant on the spike, that's not going to be enough for everybody to get the full-on bio. At least it shouldn't be. We're going to see that in just a second, I assume. But this is really the moment where they have... they actually have enough. Wow. Yeah, F2K, 7,200 still. He died only 4 times here. Pretty impressive. So he can actually buy for a lot of the teammates. All right, my bad. I thought they would start to run out of money, but with all the bank that was established here by F2K and Giants, they seem to have no problem, especially since they reliably get that spike plant down, which gives them, of course, another 300 per player.
Oh. Okay. There you go. Okay, goes for the repeat. Actually fails hitting the shots. Oh my goodness. Beautiful stuff from him. I was going to say, it's like they spotted him out on that little peak there. They definitely knew he was there, but balls of steel on that man. Just goes for the repeat after repeat. My goodness. It's a 5v3 now, and Funky Team Name once again in good stead to pick up another round.
At this point, I wouldn't even blame him just walking away from the PC and getting himself a donut and saying, like, boys, my work is done. The rest is on you. Great double kill right there. And they learned the lesson. They're moving away from A. So that's the first one. Not going to peak there again. Yeah, Funky Team Name. They needed to really step it up. And so far they have. 4 points against 6 on the board now. We're in round 11 of this first half. And now, what exactly is Orgless going to do? It seems like they're still trying to go for B now through the double doors, making the play towards A again after all. It's a 5 versus 3 still, so it won't be easy at all. Seems like Funky Team Name is also expecting a play towards B or C, which currently isn't the case. A short is what the attackers are currently aiming for. Smokes are being dropped. Only 13 seconds. They need 4 to plant the spike. And they really need to go for the plant now quickly. They're running out of time. They're running out of time way too fast. Double kill against Fails and CO. But they do not have the time to plant the spike. The spike carrier was killed. And that's another point for Funky Team Name. 5 to 6. Way closer than we initially thought after Orgless came into this round, or into this match. This is a fantastic start.
This is what it's all about in these tactical FPSs, right? Is figuring out what you do when you're behind. And then I think what separates the good teams from the great teams is working out how to stop the opponents from coming back, right? And we see this an awful lot in these types of games where teams in the lead, they'll get a really strong lead to start with, but then they just don't have an awful lot available to them in terms of like deeper strategy, in terms of other methods to make their way into bomb sites. So we'll see whether Orgless can pull things back here. see the Sova ultimate coming through. F2K with a crispy one onto Mika as well over at long. That could really make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. That was a super important one that he got just now, but they're moving on to C, and there it is again. The utility with the barrier off, the ice wall down. To start the rotation towards A, and they're moving as a 5-man at this point. 6-5. This is round 12. This is the last one in the half. Speedy taken down. Theo comes in with a kill with the Vandal. Vainless also eliminated though. Only 2 defenders left. Ults are coming in everywhere. Last round, might as well go for it. Decius fails, double kill, 2 for 2. F2K with a kill! And that's another win for Orgless. Nicely done. 7 versus 5 as we are switching sides.
Finally managed to put a stop to it. Only just edging out the lead there in that first half in terms of the scoreline. But yeah, a bit of a messy one, you have to say, of the defensive side. They started off with an early pick from the attack and then just not really recovering it back on the defense. They really unexpected of that A hit. They saw like a TP coming in behind them. It was very messy from Speedy. He thought he was behind it, but it makes a noise, of course, right? Zio could hear it. And you feel like with that play, you should be like, oh, okay, cool. He'll spin around and they'll manage to pull this back because they've made a mistake. But no, it seems CO was way too caught up and they just lost control of the A side because of it.
All right, attacker side now. Gonna try and make the play here once again, as we've seen in the previous ones. We have Cypher on C trying to hold it with the camera and getting the vision there for them. Moving towards the middle. For now, first round, of course. No armor, actually. Yeah, no armor, no gun on Cypher. Vainless then again.
Smoke down.
Look at him. F2K on the other hand. Yeah. With the smokes, Brimstone just consistently. 14 seconds on the smokes every single time. It's a long time in these games. 1 minute still on the clock. Moving towards A slowly. Yeah, smoking again. Not a single kill so far. 50 seconds left. 4 seconds that you need for the spike plant. Funky team name moving in. First 2 shots finally exchanged. They got the corner. Mika and Vainless get the kill, 1 each. Moving into A. Quick drop on the bomb, and that should be the plant. And now the retake attempt from Orgless.
Oh no. And in comes the wall, of course, going to buy more and more time. They're trying their best to take it down with the knives. A little harder on the pistols, of course. The Sage trapped in the corner here. Trying to get away. They're stacked up on top of each other. Celsius needs to be very careful there. He does manage to find the frag. It's looking good here. It is looking good. 1 versus 4 for Shine. Probably not going to happen, but we'll see. Might be able to find something. Not at all. Will get taken down by Fails immediately. So Pistol going the way of Funky team name. Once again, really well done to group up and play it patiently.
Nothing really to lose in that situation. It's the first round and a half, so it's not like you're going to lose any of your weapons. If you pick a kill up, it's another 200 credits, so definitely worth it going for it here. It's not like you're holding a Vandal in your hands on op that you want to save for the next round. But that puts Orgless still in the lead with 7 to 6 points, but Funky team name is definitely closing that gap. Setting up the same plays with Cypher holding off C. And the rest of the team might want to push into B again. But yeah, with this now they have ghosts in their hands and also armor. So they're actually opting for armor mainly when it comes to the buys in these rounds, in these second rounds. And then try to just play a couple of pistols together with it. You can see ghosts in the hands of pretty much every player here. With the additional armor on top of it. Turning it into a second pistol round, more or less.
And this is what they did in the previous game.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. It's tried and tested, for sure. And I think it's something, again, worth commenting on about the game. Not only does it set you up in pretty good stead economically, one of the things in CS particularly is there's the 600, it would be credit in this game, right, if they use the same system, but $600 kill bonus from using the SMGs, whereas in Valorant, there is no kill bonus on any guns, right? So
Yep.
I think there's an argument to be made that this is actually a relatively effective strategy to make sure you have good economy moving forwards. And most teams tend to eco this round on the defensive side anyway. The only place that it doesn't work is if we see teams start to force buy on the second round after they lose the pistol.
There's also another argument to be made for it on the safety side. Let me hold the thought for a second. Fails, kills, traded right now aggressively. Orgless with only 2 remaining. 2 versus 4. And funky team name, they got the plan. But what I really wanted to say is, one of the things that's actually really smart when you think about it is, if you invest in the 1,000 credits into a full armor, and then instead of going for a rifle, trying to go into that bulldog, into that vandal, depending on how many kills you got in the first round, if you actually just buy ghosts, if you end up in that very unfortunate spot where you actually lose the round, you are not giving your opponent anything. They're not picking up those weapons that you just bought for a lot of money and have a fantastic third round then. So it makes you a little bit safer going into round 3, even if you lose this one where you can't afford a full buy just yet, but have usually enough money to afford yourself a pro weapon. So instead they're just going for pistols and they're going for the armor. That still allows them to go for a really good buy in round 3. But if they lose the second round, it doesn't matter that much either, because their opponent isn't able to simply pick up the weapons and, yeah, bank on that.
Yeah, I think it's really smart. I kind of like it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more teams jumping in on it, to be honest.
All right, 7 versus 7. Things are tight. Now we have those Vandals in play. The Armor 2. Cypher holding C. We have the move towards A. Camera is checking that out. The rest of the team on the attacking side is starting to move in. Shine is immediately taken down. Fails is not fucking around in this game. I mean, seriously, on the defender side, he was already crushing it. Now on the attacker side, showing no mercy there either. The quick headshot as they're moving on to the point, trying to even plan, but Mika gets taken out, and that causes the rest of the attackers to fall back quickly. In rethinking their strategy, it seems like Vaneless might actually carry the spike over to C even. But they're still evaluating their options here. It seems a decision was made. A seems to be the choice. So far only Cypher sitting there holding it. 4 versus 4 situation that we have right now. Sitting safely behind the box. And speccing everything up with the cam.
Moment there is a very good camera, gets full vision of the site, both long and short side of things.
No more charges.
Oh, there it is. He will spot them out. His camera is immediately seen, sure, but he gets a good bit of information. The spray coming through the smoke as well here. Holding things down. He's lost a teammate. Oh, and the flash comes through. Beautiful stuff there.
Yes, yes.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
3 versus 2. 14 seconds, 13 seconds. Spike is planted. Big already. 4 funky team name. The extra 300 credits, no problem here. They got 3 kills too. That's another 900 for the team.
Revealing area.
Right. Info's coming out. Already trying to hold the choke point over here. Getting the attack in. And they're running out of time. Orgless is running out of time quickly. They need to make a move. They need to check right now. Window. They're trying to sneak. Can't see anything just yet. They don't know where they are at this point. Moving back in. And picking the corner. And there it is. The kill against Sword. Only one remaining. He's saving. And that's the lead. They turned it around.
Indeed. Again, on this attack, looking really, really good here from Funky Team Name. They looked really good when we caught them earlier on as well on their attack of Haven. Really utilizing the ordnance well, I think, to be honest with you. And yeah, we saw that from Decius, right, in on the C site when it was the Cypher at the back of the site. He did pick up one. They knew exactly where he was. Flash comes in from Breach, and almost instantaneously the peak came through. There was no time for him to react, despite the fact that he was blind, right? He couldn't really do anything at all. And it's a really good one. It's broken the economy here of Orgless as well. All going to be down to Sheriffs, apart from, I think, the Brimstone saved that Vandal, didn't he? So, really tough time ahead of them.
And there's the aggressive Aggressive push out already from Orgless. They are way far forward now, on B at least. Same play on A, where usually we're seeing them trying to hold the spot for as long as possible. This time they can't really make that play. They're trying to go for the sneaky kill around the corner. And Funky Team Name is playing this a little bit close at home. They're just sticking together here. They expect with the little economy that was available to Orgless that they might just like rush in with 5 at some point, trying to pick up a few kills here real quickly. Comes the Sheriff, baby, and the kill. Astesius is not getting taken down by Shines. Gets the kill in with his own weapon. 5 versus 4 already. Another attempt with the Sheriff, and this time Speed is successful. Connects it once, connects it twice. Decius is down. Omen versus Omen. F2K also with the kill. And they're starting to pick up a couple of weapons here. Looking a lot better now. 4 versus 3, and they got themselves a few Vandals.
Low HP bars dotted about, and again, not too much information to work with, but a lot of noise being made by the attacking side. They're all grouping up as well. The flank coming in from Speedy finds another. It's all going to be on Tamika. 1 versus 3. Trying to get the fake through, but no one peeking into him. Just going to hold for the bomb. Doesn't have an awful lot of time to work with. Timing going to be everything here. They come around the corner. He gets 1. Not quite the second, though. And Orgless managed to win up the Sheriff by pretty big round for them to even things immediately back up, and they also invested very, very little. So that's a massive round to be taken.
Yeah, it's huge. They won themselves a lot of weapons here. They win the round. At least the spike plant. I'll give some extra credits over to Funky Team Names so that they're not falling behind the economy too quickly. But this is a clutch series. I mean, it's 8 versus 8 right now. They're in round 17. And it's gonna be spicy over here. This is gonna be an interesting one. What's to me fascinating is that the attacking side actually has done so far better for both.
Yeah, it's really early days, right? It's so hard to tell. One game it looks really defensively sided. One game it looks really offensively sided, and even within the same teams, I think it's getting so hard to call at this point. But. Yeah. Ooh, that's a nasty dart. That is a nasty dart. He's a little unsure, I think, where it actually was, but it's
a short. Now there's the smoke. That smoke is gone. Let's see if anybody is pushing through that. We're going to go for the peek here. Yeah, Speedy, nice. Gets the kill against Fails. That was an important one. Didn't even get hit. Great play by him. Peeks around the corner, gets the quick connect, headshot. And down. Good start for them over here. Rest of the team starts to follow up now as well. Trying to go for A. Well, Vaneless doesn't seem too sure. Might make the move for B after all. But a very good start here for Orgless. The last round was important. This one is starting off well. So they could actually see that lead coming in for them again. 9 against 8 would look good for now. And also actually put the attacker team, Funky Team Name, into pretty awkward situation when it comes to economy. The move for A is made. Moving around, that's the headshot against Mishar. And gets a little more damage out, but never safe. Falls has definitely done his job. They got 2 kills. Decius is down. Speedy comes in with another one. Speedy with a triple before he finally gets stopped by CO. He's the last man standing for the attackers. And F2K puts an end to him too. There's the lead. Orgless. 9 against 8.
Back on it, man. Again, the back and forth, the tit for tat continues between these two teams. It is worth noting, Funky Team Name, something that I think we'll begin to take a closer look at in the future once the Spectate client gets a little easier to work with. They have all their ultimates available at the same time, right? And I think it would be nice to know maybe if there is anyone from Riot watching. Yeah, okay, so here we go. You can see how many points, right, are in it, and keeping things even would be really, really good as a team, and that's what they've done here on the Funky Team Name side of things. Didn't waste any in the previous round when they're on an eco, and this one with the rifles, they have everything available to them. Looks like they're going to hit the C site here. They're actually just walking up C. The Owl drone will come through. Surely now they've got to start bursting in, but all the same, so much damage going to go into that back corner. The kill comes through from Fails. 5 versus 4 very quickly, but traded back relatively fast. Again, though, so many ultimates available here on the side of Funky Team Name. I think we also saw the Omen ult come through and not used to flank or anything, right? Just throwing them off guard.
Exactly, throwing them off guard a little bit, comes through the Omen ult, Baneless now also reviving CO, so 5 versus 4, they have a good lock onto the position. Bomb is in, trying to catch the rotation here. Speedy is playing it safe, playing it slow. Sees it, goes around the corner and misses it and fails, says hello, and connects the kill. Shines is down, Decius, oh my god, never safe in F2K with the double kill here, turning into a 2 versus 3, but the bomb is ticking, it's ticking quickly. They need to try and defuse it, but it's already over. Time has gone by too much of it, and they retreat, save what they have, and the bomb takes down Baneless and Misha.
Yeah, that's a bit of a blunder, I think, losing 2 at the end there.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm happy that we have an observer mode in the first place, but obviously there's a lot that can be done to improve it and to allow us also to provide more and more vision, or sorry, not only vision, but information as casters about the two teams here, not only when it comes to the points on the old orb, but so many other things too. So not even talking about abilities on the minimap, for example, having the pictures back for the ancient portraits. But to be fair, not really the focus of a closed beta, not really the top priority. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that once the game gets released, that is gonna become very, very quickly a much higher priority for Riot. Good kill here from Never Save, opening this up with an op kill.
Bit of spraying over towards long, nothing really coming in. But again, something worth noting, we're talking about these ultimates and how important they are. Funky team name, rather. Taking the previous round, still have an awful lot of ultimates available. I think they held on to a couple of them even, so hopefully going to have an impact with those in this round. Sage doing what Sage does, keeping players back in at middle, but arguably using the barrier orb particularly quite early on into the round with still a minute left. It is a big piece of ordnance taken.
Yeah, that one will expire fairly soon, so they can still make play around that. That's definitely true. Alright, they're starting to come in over here. Yeah. Also, there's the ult, there's the heal. Barrier ult, by the way, lasting 40 seconds. It's actually a long time before it expires. There's the next ult coming in. Just look over to the hit point pool on Baneless. He has pretty much nothing left anymore. F2K with a kill against fails. Shines gets taken out too. Baneless still in play. Does Baneless actually get the kill? He has 5 hit points against the headshot in. Oh my god, so finally putting an end to all of those shenanigans. But damn, Baneless able to get another hit. You could have tickled her here and she would have fallen. That was insane.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's a little difficult to touch on. It just all seems to fall apart on the attacking side of things. They were keeping it even, and then the orbital strike came in. It all went to pot, ultimately. Very, 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 very all over the place there. And Orgless keeping it competitive, managing to just about retain their lead, right? It every now and then goes back to being even, but they seem to be able to come out on top most of the time. Speedy going to find the opening frag there over in Shorthouse and able to get away really, really quickly. 5 versus 4 coming in, no trade, not even a single point of damage done to him. A great opening frag.
And that's actually something that we've seen now in 2 rounds in a row. So that was super important there, turning it into an early 5 versus 4. The attack is over at A again, but as you said, we have these back and forth rounds between the two teams right now. And it gets to a point where Funky Team Name needs to win another round, or they're also going to run into a bit of an eco problem.
Yeah,
jumping up the wall already.
To be honest. Not an awful lot of money available for them at all. Hunter's Fury going to come through as the spike is going down. Oh, fails. Big shot coming in from him. Resurrection is available here for the Sage, so looks like it is going to be used. But it's a little risky. He's kind of out in the open. If they're savvy to the fact, it looks like not. So, oh no, okay, fails, does the same again. Just takes him down with the headshot on the Marshall, back into a 4 versus 3, but they're still trying to fight in here. They still have the superior weaponry as well. Definitely doable. Not quite able to take down Baneless as he gets 2. That's massive. And fails with his 3rd of the round, coming in to clutch it out. And as you can see, thrifty. They managed to win themselves the eco.
10 versus 10 on the board right now. Nice Well done. And that's always the problem with the Resurrect on Sage, right? We see so many teams actually dropping an Ice Wall, for example, that Orb Barrier to make sure that you don't get killed right away again. But in this situation, there was so much pressure on the defending team, they had very little choice. So they just figured, okay, let's try and distract them. Let's try and sneak this one in. But, well, what can you say? He didn't have any of that. He was just like, well, don't mind me if I do. Getting the kill a second time, fair enough, no problem with that. Now we're looking at a 10 versus 10 situation. Full buy on the attacker side. Defenders now looking at a Bulldog in the middle. So they weren't apparently able to completely spend this one out. But the air's getting thinner here. We have only 5 maximum rounds left. Another 3 for any of the 2 teams to win it and advance. And keep in mind, this is the lower bracket. This is the loser's bracket. You lose here, you are out. Your chances of reaching the grand final are gone. Vandal is in, so he at least was able to afford the full buy. Same is also true for Speedy. Okay, nice! Pushing him into the line of sight. Fantastic ult. The kill though against Flameless, but Decius is able to punish Cypher for the audacity immediately. Yeah, it is a 4 versus 3 situation, but Omen and Breach are incredibly low over here.
Fight goes down. Quick rotation coming in here, as you can see from Shine, trying to get a position at long. As soon as they knew they had lost the site, he goes for the reposition. Cypher cam is still up. I'm not sure if it's being utilized. I think he might just have been spotted out because it's now gone off the minimap. So I can only presume that he shot it here on the backside. So the flank is up. The jig is up. CO able to take down Shine. Neural Theft coming in as well to reveal the remaining 2 players. And, well, F2K wants nothing to do with it. It'll be another round going the way of Funky Team Name. Another decisive round for them as well. So well done on that Brimstone ult, that opens up the A site. You pointed it out, right? But it's such a smart play.
Yeah, what I also really liked was the stim beacon that we saw from Brimstone thrown towards A short just to slow anybody down that could potentially move in from that position. Because usually when you see the stim beacon, what you of course expect is to somehow stand in that. So if you're trying to push in from A short and you see the stim beacon all the way up at the top, you expect that there's someone in the corner, so it will definitely slow down your approach. So that was a nice one. But at the same time, it was never actually standing there, but was looking towards the spawn side of the defenders in the hope to take anyone down there that comes in from here. So that was actually a pretty neat one too. And the duration of that thing isn't bad either. 12 seconds on the stim beacon duration. That holds an opponent up for a long time if you expect someone to sit in it.
Okay, so it's a really nice buff. I think the rapid fire buff is like 10% to fire rate, recoil control, and reload speed. So it's really good stuff. It is really nice. Going to see a quick push up C here coming through from the attacking side. Once again, just trying to utilize the Vandal that F2K held onto in the previous round, but not looking too good as they lose control. So much ordnance coming in. The Resurrect being used as well. They're just completely locked out of this site, to be honest with you, on the Orgless side of things. Not looking too good at all. The Sheriff's having to use so much ammo to get through that wall there in a garage. Another kill coming through. They're getting desperate, pushing through all the smokes. Not really working too well. They're getting some kills here or there, but F2K wants nothing to do with it. He wants this Vandal. He wants to save it into the next round.
Yeah, and that is now 3 match points. 3 match points for the attackers, for Funky Team Name. He's hoping to still pick up a kill over here. And, well, it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to. No, everybody is moving straight down to the bottom. So, big question is going to be, can they afford a full buy now? Can Orgless actually pull it off? And it seems like it. Everybody had at least 4,000, so that's the armor, that's the Vandal. 3,900 in order to afford both. If you have to buy yourself utility, of course, you need to spend a little bit more. But with F2K in particular, holding 4,700, he's easily able to also buy a weapon for some teammates that might be low on utility and have to buy some of their ability slots here. So, full round for them. And now it's down to the wire. 3 match points for Funky Team Name. Let's see if they can pull that off on the attacker side. Lock in the victory and advance through the lower bracket. Cameras get taken out here. It's again, of course, Cypher. Left side as usual. They're trying to hold that spot. And Spike is moving slowly towards the double doors and potentially B. Going through the middle again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good way to open that one up. Fails at this point, he's just turning into an operator god.
Yeah, he has been so consistent with it. So consistent with it. Not so much on the attacking side, it has to be said. Anyway, Flash coming in here. Sage Wall just goes up in time and creates some awkward angles to work with. Shine gonna get 2. Will be traded back, but the A site, it's so deep down long that the rotations are able to come in pretty quickly here. Never save. He's ready for them. Sage Wall coming up. Trying to creep around, trying to find himself an opportunity. He's waiting for this bomb plant to come in. It will indeed. He creeps around, gets 1, not quite the second. Meanwhile, the flank now from Mika is now activated. All going to be on to Soma. Nice shock dart to come through. That is so good. The slow orb, though, is going to keep him back for a little bit. He knows that Mika is kind of on the backside, but is he heaven? Is he coming from yellow? Not quite sure. He's just going to go for the hold, though. Going to get off it as he hears the footsteps, and Mika is moved back. That is great mind games. The defuse now coming through for real this time, and he's just going to be able to hold it. He'd already got it halfway. Kill comes in for Mika, but doesn't really matter. We are 1 more round in this game.
Whew. Sexy one from Orgless right there, and especially the hold that we saw initially from Shines was just fantastic, slowing them down not only with the wall, with the ice wall there, but getting the double kill too, allowing the rest of the team to rotate over onto A. And then of course that shock dart from Soa was great. If he doesn't get that kill against Sage, just a few seconds later, Vaneless would have had his healing orb up and could have healed himself to full health, and that would have most likely been game, set, and match right there. But as it stands, it's 11 versus 12 on the scoreboard, and this time the attack is shifting towards C. Cameras are in for both of the players. Darts are coming through too. Once again, the attempt of fails to get some use out of the op. But they're not completely married to that idea to push C just yet, so they're actually starting to fall back a little bit and see if they have better luck in the middle.
I think they're maybe trying to bait out some early utility, but easier said than done at this point. I mean, no player wants to be making that first mistake, right? Putting that foot wrong. Everybody is playing nice and safe, nice and passive. We are going to see fails. Just spamming off a few shots.
Open up the
See if there's anyone around. Not going to happen. Orbital strike coming in. The Sage Wall immediately up. Slow orbs as well galore. So the Orbital strike is kind of nullified ultimately by the play here from the Sage to keep them back in at mid.
Yeah, Shine is just doing a great job with this. Also has the ult up, could go for the Resurrect. We have 2 ults up on the side of Funky team name. 3 for Orgless. Wall set up potentially here in the middle again. They're walling off on the side, but the kill. Shine's taking this one easy peasy. Can't give him a chance like that. Gets the second one. Vaneless with the counter kill finally, but he himself gets taken out. 4 versus 2, and that's the ult now of Cypher. We could likely look at a final map in this one. It could come down to the tie. Speedy gets CO, nicely done. 1 versus 4 situation. Decius, he's a boss, but he is not in a position where he can take this one, I believe. Yeah, tries to come in, gets sent back. No chance. Goodbye. That is it. That's the 12-12.
I don't quite understand that decision. Did he think the game was over, maybe, and he's not quite keeping track? He just used his ult, like, on the spot and kind of wasted it.
I think he could have... Well, the thing is, you lose points towards the ult anyways when you're going to the last round, so you lose all of the abilities.
That's true, yeah, no, that's really true.
All of the weapons,
yeah.
but you still have a couple of the points, and so I think that's why he just said, okay, let's go with it.
Resets to halfway, doesn't it? Yeah, that's really
exactly. So that's why he's just simply threw it out, I assume. So everybody gets, for the final round in a draw, gets 5,000 credits, but you lose everything, so you can go for that full buy there. And which is exactly what we're seeing. Fails again, has the operator. Need a little bit of assistance there on the buy setup from his teammates, of course, for that. But yeah, in we go. Let's see who's taking it. 12 versus 12, the final one. Overtime situation here. Smokes are down. Slowing this slowly. First kill is already in though. Defenders lost one, and Defenders lost Shines. Defenders actually lost Sage. That's huge. That's huge for a Funky team name. That Sage player has been the bane of their existence.
Right, as most Sage players are, to be fair, particularly on the defensive side. But she's really, really good at denying entrance to that B side of things. And goes down before using anything, I would imagine, right? A really good pickup coming through.
And in addition to that, of course, gets the picks the entire time. C. Uh-oh. Keeping it on the right wall. Only defender is sitting at the top right though, towards spawn. Oh, Justin, that is a bad spot to just go and peek past. Unfortunate for Sova. He gets taken out. 5 versus 3. This is looking fantastic for Funky Team Name. The rotation is already underway. They're looking to go through spawn onto C. That's going to be difficult to say the least. The bomb is already down. Here's the wall. Cutting off the spawn side. They have to break through it. They're losing even more time. Fails already on breaches, waiting for the opportunity to stun them out. They're trying to come through the tunnel now. It's nearly impossible. A good high spawn position for Speedy as he teleported up, but this is going to be nearly impossible. Goes straight in for the next blind here. Tries to make the play. There's the kill against Speedy against Never Safe, and this is the win. 13-12 as Funky Team Name blocks in the W.